Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. We got a Christmas Fusion live in-game. Of course, we have the Fusion calendar. We're gonna check that out and see how much of a room to wiggle we have with this Fusion. The Christmas is almost here. The New Year's is almost here. So, do we have the possibility to skip any events whatsoever? Or is it going to be a very strict Fusion? And because of it, a lot of people will opt in to skip it just for the simple fact that, hey, it's pretty hard to be fully connected for the entire duration of the holidays, and I perfectly understand that. Another thing to keep in mind, guys, is that the Yuletide event will be on and it will interconnect with the events for almost half of the Fusion. I mean, more or less half of the Fusion. It's still on for 1 week and 3 days. So you will basically get almost half of the points, okay? Keep that in mind as well. And that's kind of like, okay, do I do the Fusion now? I've collected half of the fragments almost for my epic champions because of the Yuletide Titan events, because I was going for Tormin. Of course, this is not the case for everybody, but for whoever is in this situation, you know? Then the Fusion warm-up event is still live for a little longer. The Summon Rush will start tomorrow with some disgusting summoning events. 15x, 2x, OP champions. You guys know the drill. Duchess, Skymar, all the bad champions. Then you have the Dungeon Divers event, which was left. I actually waited with this one for the Fusion because I'm trying to get the Prism Crystals, but I had no incentive to do it except that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for the Fusion, the very first tournament as well, which at the moment it seems to be the Dragon tournament. So you're getting the fragments at 2,250 points, which is the standard rate for this, and I doubted that it will change for the other events. You are getting the Yuletide points before you're getting the fragments. And of course, we have a champion training tournament. The points are at 5,000. The Yuletide points are at 6,000 here. So it's kind of like shooting two birds with one stone. Do a bit of champion training tournament, you know, you're getting points for that Summon Rush. If you are planning to do what I'm doing, of course. If you're not, that's completely up to you if you're waiting for the next Summon Rush. But let's actually have a quick look at the calendar, because that's the main thing that really matters. Do we have time to catch the next Dungeon Divers event? Most probably we will. So how you may notice right here on the screen, guys, the Fusion goes from the 14th of December all the way to the 31st, okay? So we have quite a bit of time to get it done, more than 2 weeks. And yes, today we have two events that started, which is the Dragon Tournament, the Champion Training Tournament. Tomorrow you have the Summon Rush that starts. And how you may notice, we have a Champion Chase Tournament, Summon Rush, that will give us 25 fragments each. Now, I'll be very honest with you guys. I do not know what to expect in terms of points from the Summon Rush. Will we require 4,000 points? 2,000 points is something that we cannot really anticipate. And I'm just hoping that, considering that it's Christmas, Plarium will take it a bit more chill, you know. Then, how you may notice, you can get in total 200 fragments from tournaments, 200 from events, and you get 50 from the Hero's Path with champion fragments, okay? Now, I have no idea what this Hero's Path event will be, but it starts on the 25th, on Christmas Day. I would expect it to be some sort of a guaranteed legendary champion event, because, hey, it's Christmas, they're gonna try to milk people from shards to purchase better packs, etc. They're gonna throw in a lot of better deals and stuff, you know, so that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to be either summoning shards, either summoning soul stones, okay? One or the other. The one thing to keep in mind why I'm saying it is because this Champion Chase tournament is actually for the duration of 4 days. So the Hero Path, I really don't think is going to be actually a summoning event, considering that they will be starting back to back, you know, after the other summoning event. But they might be. Something that is hard. It's hard to say it with Plarium, man. Like, it's so hard. So honestly, I would try to get all my fragments from every other event except the Hero's Path, because you don't know what you need in order to get the points there, and you might be caught off guard, you know. So don't skip the Summon Rush just because you're counting on the Hero's Path without knowing what it is, unless you don't care and you're gonna just purchase whatever it is and you're gonna get it done, you know. But for the majority of people, I'm just hoping that a Summon Rush will be somehow acceptable, and the equivalent of 4 to 6 sacred shards will get us the 25 fragments, because that's about it. It's the equivalent of a rare champion. Not even a, yeah, pretty much a rare champion. That's what it is. 25 fragments, 25, 25, 4 rares. You split the fragments in 4. Basically, is the equivalent of a rare champion, which usually tends to be at 2,000 to 3,000 points in a summon rush, you know? But of course, that can change. The main thing that you guys need to keep in mind is that we will have 3 Dungeon Divers events, guys. And whenever this is the case, that seems to be the problem for the majority of the people. That's the one thing that blocks the people from getting the points, you know. Now, considering that we have a Dungeon Divers event and the Hero's Path at the exact same time, more or less, I don't think that the Hero's Path will reward us from getting artifacts. But I might be wrong on it. Maybe we will need to level up artifacts, which will require a lot of silver. So that's another thing to keep in mind. We do have 3 artifact enhancement events as well. But then again, you have 1 artifact enhancement event together with the Hero's Path and the Dungeon Divers, which are kind of like dropping down a bit all this. Okay, what do we do for points? Probably, as an idea, we could level up champions, right? The champion training tournament is here. The champion training event ends here. So the Hero's Path might have some summoning, either stones, either shards, and level up champions, rather than get artifacts or level up artifacts. This is more of a theory, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But let's quickly go over what we need in order to complete this fusion. So this is the calendar. You can see the events as well, guys. We will have, of course, the Dungeon Diver event interconnecting with the champion training and the dragon tournament and the ice golem tournament. Then moving to the next one, the fire tournament and the fire knight tournament, sorry, and the spider tournament will be together with the other Dungeon Diver event, together with the champion training event. And the last Dungeon Diver will only have the spider tournament. So that will be the problematic one, you know. So I'm very curious to see how that will play out. It's hard to anticipate with the Hero's Path being there out of nowhere, you know. For the first tournament, you're going to need roughly around 3k energy. That's approximately, depending on what stage you're farming. For the champion training tournament at 5k points, again, it really depends if you have a lot of chickens, if you have a lot of level 40s done, level 30s. So I would approximate it at around 2k with what you might have prepared already. Classic arena tournament, fairly easy compared to the rest. If they're not bumping up the points, you might have to purchase one refill or 2. So that's honestly not the biggest issue that people will encounter in here. Spider tournament, 3k again. Champion chase tournament, I would expect it to be at around 2k points, okay? And I feel like if you summon a couple of the epics during that, you get 500 points from there. Then you might have to summon some ancients, because that gives you kind of like the best points. But I'm expecting to get these fragments from here at around 2k points, okay? So not energy, this is points here. Let's do that. Very, very beautiful handwriting there, Skratch. Then the fire tournament, 3k energy again, guys. The ice golem, 3k again. So just by doing the tournaments, you will roughly need around 14k energy, okay? So total 14k energy. And I really think this is not the biggest issue for most of the people. You have almost 2 weeks to complete it, and if you're doing all your dailies, if you are in the end game, even as free to play, you are roughly getting around 1k energy a day for free. Plus, you're getting the ones from events, etc., which will take you to 14k. The problem will be the other events that you have right here. So the summon rush, again, I'm approximating 2 to 3k points. They might be nice and be like, okay, it's Christmas, guys, you know, we're gonna make it easier. We put it at 1.5k points. So you might need here roughly 6 sacreds, okay? 6 sacred shards. And if you don't have 6 sacreds, it's the equivalent of 6 sacreds. You might have primals, you might have voids. Basically, you need the points, not the actual shard. You know, it doesn't really matter what shard you're using. The Dungeon Divers event, again, will be pretty hard to predict, but I would expect to get the fragments at around 4k points, okay? And let's just kind of like have an idea. So we've already used some energy in this. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. Probably with this energy, more or less, you will get it done, okay? So you won't have to use anything extra. Then for the artifact enhancement event, guys, which is the first one right here, you will roughly need around 10 million silver, approximately. It really depends on your RNG as well, but you're not looking to maximize the event. You're looking to get the fragments, which should be at around 3 to 3.5k points, you know? And I feel like this will be the same for all three of them. So that will kind of like take you to 30 million silver in total, you know? So right here, 30 million. Keep in mind, even if you don't have 30 million straight off the back, you will be doing a lot of events and tournaments that will give you probably at least half of the silver based on how many artifacts and pieces of gear you are selling from there. Now for the champion training event, most probably they will split the fragments. I'm not sure if they will split 5, 10, 10 again, or whatever they're gonna do, but I'm expecting to need around 8k points to complete this, you know. And in terms of energy, again, is based on what sort of chickens you have available and things, but you need 3 to 4k energy to complete this as well, you know. And the main problem that you will have is this dungeon divers right here, okay? This one right here. Because this second one will be fine with the energy that you're using on the Fire Knight, on the Spider Tournament, on the Champion Training. You're fine with that, okay? So next to that, let's just add 4k energy more. Unfortunately, it's going off the screen right there, but right here is 18k by now, okay? More or less. Probably it's going to be a bit more than this. I'm kind of like putting it at a minimum. Then the main thing that you will encounter is doing this Dungeon Divers Event 3, which will require, again, 7 to 8k energy, which will up this 18k to 25k plus, okay? And I'm not sure what the hero pet will require. But if you're not taking the hero pet in consideration, let's just put a big X on it, you're gonna need to do every single event. So you cannot skip anything. And I understand if people will be a bit like, well, it's Christmas, you know, I don't have time to do this. The hero pet event literally starts on Christmas Day, so it will be a bit harder to get it done. Now, is the fusion really worth it, guys? Is the fusion really, really worth it? Honestly, the epic champion is kind of meh, okay? It's nothing special. We already have another similar epic in game that does pretty much the same thing, more or less. And if I'm not mistaken, it's from the Dark Elves. Is a visionary. This one right here. So decrease crit rate, decrease crit damage, increase crit rate, increase crit damage. And that epic champion will pretty much do the exact same thing, more or less, you know? And it's a good thing to have for progression, don't get me wrong. So if you're not doing the legendary, considering getting 1, maybe even 2, so you have your faction guardians sorted as well. The actual legendary champion, guys, as it stands right now, I think he's interesting for clan boss because of the A2, ally protection, increased defense, and remove the stun. So clan boss is a yes. On a regular team in Fire Knight, I'm not feeling him, okay? I'll be honest, I'm not feeling him. I've tried him quite a bit. And if you don't have the OP champions to pair with him for the Fire Knight, he doesn't feel that great on the high difficulty, on hard mode stage 10, okay? So he's an X there. But we do have Ice Golem, which again, generally on the Ice Golem, he's not bad. He's okay-ish. He's not necessarily the champion that you will want to use, considering that most of us have Artac for free, unless you started playing the game in the last 3-4 months or so. But if that's the case, then yes, he can help in there. But I think the champion will be pretty interesting for the Curse City, because here we have a lot of requirements, guys. We have a lot of duo bosses, okay? And you never know when this Fire Knight, okay, this Fire Knight combines with the Ice Golem, combines with the Frost Spider, combines with something that will require champion from the Ogryn tribes, okay? So that's basically the reason why I'm going for the fusion. I have absolutely no other reason to go and get this fusion done except the Curse City, the new restrictions, the new duo bosses, and knowing that even though this month he's not needed in here in any of the teams whatsoever, he will be probably needed next month, or if not next month, in the 3rd rotation, or who knows how many rotations they will make for the Curse City. So that's why I'm going for the fusion, guys. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As usual, appreciate every single one of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.